When you're ready, just find a comfortable place to begin. And we're going to start just by acting into your feet. So just go ahead and step around a little bit. You could just go from side to side or shift the weight from foot to foot or pick up your toes and stand on your heels. We just want to kind of, activate the bottom of our feet. So go ahead, maybe even take a little bit of a hop or a jump if you feel comfortable. And then coming to some kind of stillness, perhaps. Somewhere that feels comfortable. The toes active here as we are standing. You could bring your hands down by your sides or just let them kind of hang. You could also like hold on to yourself, or we're just gonna stand in some kind of way. Feel free to close your eyes here if you'd like, and just notice what happens as your eyes close. Any natural responses from your body, or does your attention go to anything specific? If you want, you can bring your hands to the belly or somewhere between the navel and the rib cage. And we'll practice some diaphragmatic breathings with your inhales, breathing and expanding into your hands. And exhale, feeling everything soften. Find your own rhythm here, breathing in, belly breaths. And breathing out. We'll start with equal breathing here. So just doing your best to inhale for the same amount of time as you exhale. After you've taken a couple rounds of equal breath, let's try to extend the exhales. So it could just be a second longer than your inhale, or maybe even working up to maybe even doubling your exhale. But let's make sure not to stress, not to strain. Let's just find that natural flow. Check to make sure you have a little bit of a bend in your knees, or maybe even kind of bounce your knees a little bit, making sure you're not locking into your joints. If you'd like to set a dedication or intention for today's practice, feel free to bring something to mind right now. We'll start to slowly sway foot to foot. You could open your eyes or keep them closed, or a little of both. You might toe heel your feet out a little wider or step your feet out wider so that you can sway with a little more stability. And then let's take 3 clearing breaths, inhaling through the nose and sighing through the mouth. Finding your way back to a steady pace of breath, opening your eyes if you want. Let your hands come down. Maybe give your arms a little bit of a shake out here. Start to move into willow tree. So letting the arms twist, letting The upper body kind of twists side to side. You can keep the sway going and maybe sway a little bit with it. Well, that feels kind of fun. If you get dizzy easy, keep your head straight forward. If you're up for it, maybe turning or looking as you twist in the same direction of your twist. Letting your arms and your hands just kind of gently knock into your body wherever your hands land. And then we'll try adding in a little tap up top. So you'll just keep arm twisting side to side, get your arms naturally flowing. And then you'll just add in a little tap on the front of your body. So whatever side you're turning to, you're just going to tap and tap up a little higher, not too hard. A little bit of coordination here. Okay. And then we'll tap just below on the lungs in a way. So the front hand just tapping like rib cage-ish. Oops. Sometimes I lose, like, I have to start over fresh. Okay, there we go. Just a little bit of knocking. I decide. Okay, and I'm bringing it back to the start here. Okay, with our inhale, let's reach the arms up and overhead, taking a little bit of a back bend as you go, like you're waking up from a big nap. And then exhale, lowering your hands back down. Let's do it a couple times. Inhale, opening up, spreading the arms out. You can kind of improvise the movement with your arms here. And then exhale, lowering them back down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, expanding. And exhale, back to the center. Let's tuck the right arm behind you. Just kind of tuck it behind you wherever you can. If it doesn't feel good to do that, you can just kind of keep it behind your leg or your lower back. And then we will turn the head to the left. See if you can feel a little bit of a, I'm thinking tension, tightness. I'm feeling like a little bit of a stretch here through the right side of the chest, right side of the neck. And keeping your head turned to the right. You might look down a little bit more, up a little bit more. We're just kind of playing with sensation through that right side of the neck and shoulder. Even kind of take some little circles or rocking. Go ahead and dip your chin down toward the center of your chest. Let both hands come down by your sides. Still standing up with nice posture, letting your back of your neck kind of open up here. You might shrug your shoulders a little bit as you feel that opening at the back of your neck. And then tucking your left arm behind you and looking to the right. Go ahead and play with that sensation now through the left side of the shoulder, chest, and neck. And look down, up just a little bit. Keep pulling that left elbow back. Okay. And then bringing your chin back down toward the center. Let your arms go down by your sides. With an inhale, let's look all the way up. Turning the chin or reaching the chin up toward the sky. And exhale, bringing your chin all the way back down toward the center of your chest. Let's try to match the length of the inhale to the lift of the chin. And your exhale, the entire exhale has you tucking your chin back down. One more time like that. Inhale up. And exhale, tuck. Come on back to center. Let's look to the left. And then to the right. To the left. And to the right. Come on back to the center. This time we're going to keep our heads still here, and we're just gonna move the eyeballs. So you could close your eyes for this or keep your eyes open. We'll look to the left and then to the right, to the left, to the right. One more time to the left, one more time to the right. Come back to the center, blink your eyes a couple times. We'll look up and we'll look down, keeping your head still. We're looking up and we're looking down. One more time up, one more time down. Blinking your eyes to come back to center. Now we're going to do diagonals. So let's look up to the left and down to the right. Up to the left, down to the right. One more time, up to the left. One more time, down to the right. Blinking your eyes to come back to the center. And we'll switch. So we're looking up to the right and down to the left. Up to the right, down to the left. One more time, up to the right and down to the left, back to the center. Okay. Feel free to take a little shake or wobble here as we come up to the top of the mat. Let's rise up to the tippy toes a couple of times and then back down, warming up the ankles a little bit, just coming up to the tippy toes and down a couple of times. And then bringing your feet down to the floor. Let's pick up all of the toes and spread them out. See if you can just hold them up there, spread out for a second. If possible, lower just your big toes, keeping your other toes lifted. If that doesn't quite happen, go ahead and kind of reach down, see if you can make it work. And then lift all of your toes, spread them out. This time, let's try to lower all of the toes except for the big toes. Again, if it's not quite happening right away, go ahead down. Give your toes a little bit of a help. And then lifting all of your toes, set them back down. A little bit of foot yoga for us today. Inhale, reach your arms up and overhead. Grab hold of your left wrist and exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale, come back up to the center. Switch your grip and exhale, side bend left. Inhale, center, switching your grip. Exhale, side bend right. One more time. Inhale, up to the center. And exhale, side bend left. And up to the center one more time. Exhale, fold forward. We'll have a little ragdoll moment here. So feel free to toe heel your feet out a little wider. You could bend your knees quite a bit here and just let your upper body hang kind of loose, loosening up your low back, loosening up your neck, maybe shaking your head yes and no. Make sure your breath is flowing. You can always bring your elbows maybe to your knees or grab hold of your shins for some extra support. All right, let's halfway lift now. So we'll slide the hands up to the thighs. Almost like you have a cat, or I mean a cow-like back here. So we don't want to have any forward rounding. Want to be nice and almost as if you could do a cow here. But tuck your chin so you're looking straight down toward the floor. All right, you might feel it through the back of your legs. That is good. And go ahead and bend your knees. Let's bring the hands down to the floor or blocks. We'll step the right foot back and lower your right knee down to the mat. Gotta get my blocks over here. So right knee is down on the mat. Let's bring the hips a little bit forward, not to sink into your joints here, but just a little bit forward so you start to feel some engagement and stretch through the front of that right leg and thigh. Let's Come on up with an inhale. Exhale, cactus, the arms bending your elbows, widening through the collarbones. Inhale here. And exhale. Let's bring the hands together out in front. Like you're drawing a bow. Let's pull the left hand back across your collarbones and open arm twist toward the left. We'll bend the left elbow, bringing your left fingertips to your left shoulder, and slide your left hand all the way down your right hand until your hands touch again at the center. We're going to add on a little bit here. Let's circle that left arm. So reach your left arm high and then back. So we're end up in our open arm twist. Then sweep your left arm down by your side and then forward. So we just made a big circle. Let's do it again. Left arm reaching up and open arm twist, and then down and closed. We're going to switch directions this time. Left arm reaches down and back, open arm twist, and then up and closed. All right. Bring both hands down to your blocks or the floor. Step your left foot back to meet your right. Tabletop, blocks or not. Inhale, cow pose, lowering the belly, lifting the gaze, lifting the tailbone. Exhale, cat, rounding up through the spine. Tuck your chin and your tailbone. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Keep going at your own pace here. And try to check in with your spine. Are there areas of the spine that feel a little more in control? Or any areas of your spine that feel, I don't know, maybe a little offline or a little, I don't know, Tin Man, squeaky? All right. When you're ready, let's find our way to downward facing dog, curling the toes under, lifting the tailbone high. Take some time pedaling out your legs, bending and straightening opposite knees. And when you're ready, let's look toward the top of the mat and step just the right foot forward, lowering your left knee this time to the mat. Feel free to add extra cushion underneath your knee if your first knee didn't like it too much. Let's shift forward slightly so we feel that engagement and stretch through the left thigh, the left hip flexors, and then we'll rise on up. Take a breath in. Exhale, goalpost the arms, bending your elbows, reaching up through the chest. One more breath here. Inhale. And exhale, coming back to center. We'll find those twists or those open arm twists again. So bringing your hands together in front of you. Let's first draw that bow, pulling your right hand across your left arm, across your collarbones, and all the way open. When you're ready, bending your right elbow, bringing your right fingers to your shoulder, and then sliding across all the way close. All right, now we'll start our arm circles. So right hand reaching high, and then opening toward the back, open arm twist. Lower your right hand down by your side, and then join your hands again. Let's switch sides or switch directions. So this time, let's bring the right hand down and then back, open arm twist to the right, and then up and close. Good, good. Bringing our hands down to blocks. Curl your left toes under. Pick up your left knee. Step to the top of the mat. Forward fold at the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Making sure you're getting any rounding out of the spine. Maybe feeling as if you're doing cow pose a little bit. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Join your hands overhead. And exhale, come down. Bring your hands to heart center. Take a couple moments. Tuning in. Checking in with your body. Remembering your intention if you set one. Inhale through the nose and sigh it out. Inhale, bringing your arms up and overhead. Option to come up to the tippy toes. Exhale, fold, lowering your heels to the floor and forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bring your hands down to the floor, stepping one foot back first and then the other to our high plank, shoulders over wrists. Big breath in and out. One more breath in. And exhale, lower your knees and lower your chest. Press the tops of your feet into the floor so your thighs and your knees get a little lighter on the floor. Inhale, baby cobra, lifting your head, lifting your heart. Not too much help from your hands, maybe even hovering your hands up off of the floor. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, baby cobra, keeping that half tuck of your chin. So you're looking at the floor, and exhale, lower. One more time like that. Inhale, baby cobra, pulling your shoulder blades together behind you. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, press up to tabletop. And exhale, make your way back to child's pose. You could bring your knees out wide toward the edges of your mat with your big toes touching behind you, or feel free to keep your knees a little closer together. Take some nice deep breaths, filling your torso, your lungs with air expanding in all directions. Inhale, come up to tabletop, grabbing your blocks. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, rise up to your tippy toes, lifting your heels. And exhale, sinking your heels toward the floor. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, rising up to your tippy toes. And exhale, sinking your heels toward the floor. Kind of stretching out the calves. Let's do that one last time. Inhale as you rise. And exhale as you lower. Inhale, bend your knees, look up toward the top of your mat, but with your exhale, walk your hands to the back of your mat. Stand up in a forward fold at the back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, joining hands overhead. Exhale, hands come down to heart center, pressing your thumbs into the center of your chest, your sternum. See if you can spend a few moments with your heartbeat. Inhale through the nose and sigh it out. Go ahead and open your eyes if they were closed. Let your hands come down by your sides. Let's do a little bit of balancing. We're bringing back our little balancing series I used to just do all the time and love so much. So let's do it. Bringing your feet out a little wider. Make sure you're feeling ready to balance, getting close to a wall or grabbing some props, chairs for support if you would like. Let's shift over. Our center of gravity is over that right foot. At some point, starting to lift that left knee. One-legged mountain pose. That left knee lifts. Always keep your toes close to the floor there for support, or try to lift your left knee about parallel to the ground. Just getting established here. It's a good goal to be able to stand on one leg, on each leg for 30 seconds throughout our lives. That can help save a lot of trouble from falling and whatnot. So here we are. Let's take one more breath in. Exhale, straighten your left leg, touch your left heel down to the floor and step into your left foot, coming up to the right tippy toes behind you. Take a breath in, sweeping your arms up and overhead. And exhale, airplane pose, sweeping the arms back, hugging the shoulder blades together behind you, maybe tipping forward a little bit more, possibly lifting your right foot up behind you. This is really good if you have like a couch or an ottoman. You could put your hands on that or the wall. Take your time here, find your own timing. Eventually, start to rise back up. See if you can take your right knee up with you. One-legged mountain pose. I'll stay here for a few breaths. For some reason, wiggling my fingers. Feel free to add on, but just feels right for me today. When you've had a good amount of time here, you feel a little wobbly, maybe that left leg is a little fatigued, that's good. Let's straighten the right leg, touch your right heel down, go ahead and step right into the right foot. With an inhale, sweeping the arms forward, and exhale, find your version of airplane. Whenever you're ready, see if you can rise back up, bringing your left knee up with you. And then go ahead and step it right down so we end up at the top of the mat. Let's go ahead and just start to melt forward into our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, bringing your hands to the floor or block, stepping one foot back first and then the other to our high plank. Big breath in here, push your hands into the floor or blocks. And exhale, knees lower, chest lowers. Getting set up for baby cobra again. Press the tops of your feet down into the mat. Inhale, baby cobra, the head and heart lift. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, baby cobra, squeezing the glutes at the top to help support the low back. And exhale, lower. One more time. Inhale, lift, baby cobra. And exhale, lower down. Inhale, make your way up to tabletop, hands and knees. Exhale to any version of child's pose you'd like, sinking your seat toward your heels, perhaps. This time, if you want, we could tent the fingertips up so the palms are off of the floor. If that feels okay on your shoulders. You might kind of rock side to side through the upper chest or through the upper body. Always free to explore variations galore. Flattening your palms back down to your mat. One more breath here. Inhale, rise up with a cat back, tabletop. And then neutral spine. We'll grab hold of our blocks, curl your toes under, and downward dog. This is our last downward dog today. So take a couple moments to enjoy, if this is one that you do enjoy. Breathing in a steady and confident manner. Whenever you see fit, let's inhale, bend the knees, look towards your hands, but then exhale and walk your hands to the back of the mat again. So we're in a forward fold at the back. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Press your feet down into the floor to initiate this movement. Inhale, rising up, joining hands overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Take a few moments, coming back to a state of somewhat of a balance. Taking a clearing breath at any time. Some point here, opening the eyes, letting your arms come down by your sides. And we'll go through that balancing series once more. This time we're shifting to the left foot first. Center of gravity over the left foot, finding one-legged mountain pose with your right knee lifting. We'll stay here in this first one-legged mountain, one-legged mountain for just a bit longer than we will on the rest of them. Again, building up our strength so we are able to balance and stabilize ourselves. And then straighten your right leg, touching your right heel down and stepping into the right foot. Inhale, reaching your arms forward or up. Exhale, airplane pose. Take a couple of breaths, exploring airplane. At some point, maybe using an inhale to rise back up, bringing your left knee up with you. One-legged mountain. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, straighten the left leg, touch your left heel down, and take that step forward. Inhale, reaching the arms forward or up. And exhale, airplane pose. I'm telling you, if you're by a wall, it feels so good to press your hands into the wall. Eventually rising back up, seeing if you can bring your right knee up with you. And then step it on down. All right, if there are any other movements you want while we're standing here, go ahead and move in those ways. Otherwise, we're heading down to the floor. Let's head down to a seat, and we'll bend the left knee and straighten the right leg. We'll take a little twist toward the left. So your right hand might come to your left knee, maybe your left hand coming to a block or the floor behind you. Sitting up nice and tall here, and feeling into the inner right leg, inner right thigh. Might be getting a little bit of a stretching sensation there. With your inhales, use your inhales to align your spine and sit up nice and tall. And then with your exhales, maybe twisting or looking toward that left shoulder. One more like that. Coming back toward the center. Take a little fold over the left thigh, left knee, so the center of the chest, more or less toward the left leg. I like to use blocks here, and just slowly start to hinge forward. So we're trying to keep the chest kind of puffed up here instead of rounding forward. You might feel more of a stretch happening with less distance here. You can feel a lot going on just with a little lean forward. You can explore or stay, or maybe even lower down to your forearms on blocks. One more nice big breath. And starting to make your way back up. We'll switch sides. So straightening your left leg out, bending your right knee, wherever it lands is just fine. Flexing or pulling the left toes back toward you here. Let's take a twist toward the right. So the left hand coming to the right knee, maybe your right hand finding a block or the floor behind you. Inhale in, inflate upwards, lengthening the crown of your spine up toward the sky. And with your exhales, maybe twisting and looking over or toward that right shoulder. Do that a couple of times. We're inhaling, inflating upwards. And exhale, a little twist. One more time. All right, we'll head into our little fold next. So unwinding, so the center of your chest is somewhat in the direction of the right thigh, the right knee. Puffing the chest up here, and sort of hinge forward toward the right. Like you're wanting more of like your low stomach, your rib cage, to be reaching towards your thigh more so than your upper body. Can stay here, find a little flow with it if you want, maybe lifting and then lowering back in a couple of times. If you want to settle in for a couple of breaths, maybe using your blocks again, bring your forearms onto blocks. This would be a good time to lengthen your exhales again. And you don't even have to count, just, a normal inhale, just a long exhale. Maybe one or two more breaths here. And then rising back up. I kind of wanted to stay longer. All right, straightening out both legs and then coming down to your back. Take a long body stretch when we get there, straightening arms and legs, letting your body greet the floor. Oh. And then we'll bend the knees and hug the knees in toward your chest. Keeping your upper body down to the mat. Go ahead and take a little bit of free movement here, circling your knees or rocking a bit side to side, massaging out your low back, the sacrum, maybe a little bit of the glutes or the hips a little bit here. At some point, letting your knees go a little farther away from you. And at some point, hugging your knees in a little closer. Have a little lower body twist here. So letting your feet come down to the floor. Bring your arms out for support. Scoot your pelvis over toward the left edge of your mat and then allow your knees to start twisting over toward the right. Check your body for holding or gripping, grabbing some props to put underneath your legs if you are feeling like you're gripping to keep yourself safe. Or maybe something, maybe you're blocking between your knees. And then if you want to complete the twist, as they say, and gazing slightly to the left. Checking once again for holding or gripping. See if you can soften just a little more. Letting this twist feel easy. And then we'll start to think about switching sides. If your block is between your knees, feel free to see if you can keep it there as we switch. Bringing your knees back up to center, scooting your pelvis over toward the right edge of the mat this time, and then allowing your knees to twist to the left. Taking your time to set up the right variation on this side, and eventually maybe turning your gaze to the right. And then we'll come back to the center. Make sure to move through any last stretches or poses that you're wanting. And then as soon as you're ready, just getting ready, get yourself ready for our final rest, our final shavasana. So maybe grabbing a pillow or an eye mask or turning off the light in your space or whatever you need to be comfy. You might lay with your arms and legs outstretched, or maybe it's nicer on your low back to bend your knees and stand your feet by the edges of your mat. And allow your knees to rest together at the center. Constructive rest. Letting your eyes close if that feels restful. Let's find our proper oral posture, sealing the lips, yet parting the biting surfaces of your teeth so the jaw is relaxed, a little bit of space between your teeth. And then resting your tongue up on the roof of your mouth. Sensing or imagining that your nasal passageways are widening and clearing. So your breath easily flows in through the nose, all the way through the sinuses, down to the lungs. And then reversing that on the way out. Trying to let go of thinking or ruminating and just trying to dwell in this state of being. Yoga means union or to yoke. So all of the asana, the physical movements, the breathing, pranayama, all these different practices of focus and meditation kind of prepare the mind and body for this state of union. So if you do have a deity or a god or nature or something that you want to spend this time kind of feeling your connection with, know that this is a space and a place where the body and mind have hopefully been a little more prepared for this union. Softening even more ease, more connection. Please do feel welcome to stay, continue this rest, this connection, this unity feeling, Shavasana. As long as you want, there's no rush. Eventually, when you're ready to reawaken, let's do so gently, maybe with a little wiggle of fingers and toes. Maybe letting your head rock from side to side, or opening and closing your jaw, or yawning. Making your own unique way over to either side, fetal position with your knees slightly tucked in. Maybe your bottom arm could be your pillow. Take one more full round of breath. And then lifting your way up to a seated position using the strength and help of your hands and arms. Let's join hands together at heart center. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Together, let's bring thumbs up to third eye center, just above and between the eyebrows. And in a gesture of gratitude, let's take a bow forward together now. Thank you.